nataka nisema kiluka Kiswahili, lakini Swahili yangu si kizuri. Lakini anataka nisema ni mimi na yetu wadugu, ndugu na ndugu. Kwa sababu Afrika ni moja. Afrika yote ni moja. Zamani imekwenda, Uswahili pia imekwenda. Lakini mimi nilikuwa kati Tanzania na Kenya na Uganda, sio mpya kwa mimi. Nikwenda shule katika kwa miaka moja, kwa sababu hivyo Swahili kidogo. Kwa miaka moja nimekwenda shule katika Tanzania. Mimi pia nimekuwa refugee katika Uganda. Pale Bombo refugees. Miaka 63 63 au 62 sijui 62 63. Sasa mimi nitasema loka Kiingereza si lugha yangu, lugha ya mzungu. Lugha ya mzungu, lugha ya Kiarabu, Kiswahili lugha ya Waafrika. Miaka 2-3 hivyo mimi nitasema lugha ya Kiswahili. Lakini leo nitasema lugha ya Kiingereza, na huyu ndugu yangu, jina lako nani?
Samuel Abukonga.
Samuel will translate from English to the language which is understood by most of you. You can begin translating.
Abanye Afrika ya gana ate amudugi. Night ayong malayani beri agana akar mojong. Koteren kala kalau gini kudu beri akar mojong.
As I was just saying in my small Swahili, I was saying that Africa is one.
Ikuana kanali muntorinya tamara. Kiswahili tamara. Africa ngituang le yeto ma Africa rangi pei.
As you sit here, there is no difference between you and us.
Ikuana boy tarong arani ke anege. Eme atia katait araka ngonda angirino. Ye jeranga.
If somebody comes from the stars and lands here today and knows nothing about the politics of this earth and of the world, they will say that these people are from one country.
Aso ke buana je to na lugdi amana kuji gori ala to manga cerga ma to dog nege. E bunia da manye perni anyo ngagrona to ma iya na kopio. Na ite bunia da mare e gupete to ngalu apengaje.
But we have been divided and redivided by colonialism and by neocolonialism.
Azo ya pot paranga kwang ito tia kai ngone. Na bogi pukata. Na ba gi pukana ya udiket. E bua pukani do tia tia ngonda. Yel pegel gala no tamare yang chama.
We in Africa we have been shown by Western civilization, by capitalism, that we in Africa have had nothing to contribute.
Aso, iwani ala to Africa, e pot paranin ka kwang, na ponda gu ponga yo lu. E pot gi puga ta iwani. Na bo ito jema wa tamare mempe bore pe de ngona gi ya ko nyele muni ngone mi a wo yena na dam yo. Nyele pe gi ya ngon ka.
This is not correct.
Ya pe gi na akrongon.
Although when we find ourselves we find ourselves naked wherever we are, dispossessed wherever we are, whether you are in Karamojong, whether you are in Taposa, whether you are in Turkana, whether you are anywhere in Africa, we feel little.
Aso, ikwa kana iwani keri amuga na je wani ngiche lo diong lo wabu yuti chakwana metane lo. Ki ya yo Karamoja, ki ya yo Taposa na lo kori ki ya ka na che kwa binjang le yang ko na ko.
All the way to South Africa, we all feel little. I want to say that this is not true. We may be little now, but we have not always been little. Those who have gone to school, you read in your history books that civilization started in Africa, it started in the Nile Valley.
Azo, a lot of my warning is Panalo Marlo, Lozukulo, or Nazumetai. A ponto do my agron, I get an ole baking to Agate. Atamar, I will do a Gunicola of Africa, and then Nile, Uniango Nayona, Egypt, Nicola Gunia, men Nakopanga, Nicopune to Lugapun.
From the Mediterranean up to Lake, what they call Lake Victoria. I don't know who this Victoria is. But they call it Lake Victoria anyway.
Other Jangolo Naga Yata, the Nile Valley. They go Nile big union, Korean Lomari, and Namayata Metrena. Toika and Naminayoga Yata Lake Victoria. Neither by Yanayatamar, I cannot Iburinata Lake Victoria. Atam Gino and Quantana.
They say Victoria was one of the women who ruled white people in England.
Also, a Portugal begin at the Corona. A Portugal again at the Corona Atamar, Angola Victoria, Tamarabi, Arawa, Pero, Aikiana Banka. Tulimone Grongolo Coke, me wanting it on. We
also had our great women, and if we want to name lakes after our women, we will find one.
Also, Aneni, Angolo Nepal to Limu, Karaga, the Rona, and Apollo Noe. Ememono one up there on Apollo Muni Crongola.
The reality and the proof of our greatness in Africa is shown by monuments, by pyramids in Egypt.
Also, Ayoko Gong, Kori, Ayoko Polo, Alatoma, Anakopa and Angrano. He told you, Cotere, Yakolong, Bunga, Toduko, Nikoni, when you die pyramids, will open to Egypt, or Egypt.
By the great walls of Zimbabwe.
I don't need you go up on Inclino to you, and Akopake.
And many other archaeological finds
also,
in
Africa. Can Africa, for Nakopana, Angrano.
Ancient Egypt, what is called Pharaonic Egypt.
Also, Egypt Nakola, Kanana.
Was not Arab and was not European and was not white and was not red, it was black.
Also, Paya Ikuangetonga, Parakanton Kunia Tingola, Narabua, Parakanton Michian Gachi, Night Ilukonga, Ngulu, a Menga Kwang, Ulupeki Jennifer.
This is incontrovertible. Nobody can dispute it in terms of historical facts.
Also, I may to an epiria peg na ground, Nakola Pogitia and Tomana Copangino. Nabope, Cabal Great and I, Itian Colon, the Ozo Pengirino.
And this is the cradle of human civilization. This is where human civilization is started.
Although, Ninicone Gunia Wodu, Kori, I Wodu Angetonga, and Rai Africa, Corina Copangino, Nicole Gunia Wodu, Nabono way, Mere Wache, Alatomangatuana, the protocol of the Bonega,
the great pyramids of Egypt now, they stand as a living proof. But instead of us going to look into them, to look into our roots in them, people go and wander.
Also, the Kurina Aturiamuton Akatorina Nakolo Putia, Nakire, Kepagadena, Keka, you are in the Iperiagatoric on Erotrola Potogitia, or he can't to Tagalor, getting on the night, if you are to Perotolo.
They marvel, they wonder at the great pyramids.
Pato, roko ba e umokin to namar eduki mo kolo iborenya ta pyramid kwani.
They come, all tourists from all over the world, they come to see the pyramids.
E poto npe yo kana ko pangona ana ko pinang na cheda. E poto angwal kin borin ko ni goro eduke tenga to. Na ita ko lawo ni kedi. To ko eduke.
The pyramids are very great buildings.
Arai pyramids gu arai ngadu ketang na polo kuno ina ko gong na boda.
That would be difficult to build even now in 1987.
Na boy tioni kin no itan pena ga tamang to duko ye pedorio. Ya karo pere tamang to duko ye pedorio adu kun na ko ni.
That was very advanced architecture.
Ya rai kolo awodo na ki duk no we ne ya ki ngaren. Na lo na ngru alu.
So the Egyptians, they get their tourist money, but the question is not asked who built them.
Aso into ngru ke Egypto ko ru Egypt. Ya Igamuna tengke na ko tari pe kulo ponete. Night nyara ngwa tamara dia munu ngedeli night. Hai ko le butu duk borengini.
They say it is the ancient Egyptians, but who were the ancient Egyptians?
Na ya bali kwede be arai ngiton luka Egypt ko luka Egypt ngulu ko la kanana. Night atanga ko longa tonga lu ke Egypt lu le dukete bore. Mera ko ngiri no ka.
It is not the present Egyptians. The present Egyptians came from Arabia, came from Syria, came from Persia, came from Greece, came from Rome.
Azo mereng itu aka Egypt ngulu pe angru alu ngulu pe ya kale na ko pa Egypt dukete dukete bore ni. Night arangi ngitunga ngulu ko la anana. Mere ngulu pe angru alu ngone pota ka Arabia ngone pota Persia ngone pota Greece ngone pota kai ana ko pa ka ana anga kwa. Mere kedi. Yin te bore ni.
Ancient Egyptian civilization is incontrovertibly African in origin.
Aso, awozo ngina aya kaijito na nana nyara ina anka kwang arai na ankilono angulu kolong ege unete agbuya na lupangu.
And it was a great civilization.
Arai kira awozo na polonoi.
Europe came to learn from Egypt.
Ebuni ako banka kwang kolo aria muna awozo eria muni anini kai.
The great Pythagoras, some of you learn in primary or intermediate or secondary school, the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagoras spent 25 years in Egypt.
Azo iglela nyarta Pythagoras, ngi ci ko lay kadlo ko ye iglela ko lay girte e mara noy ak mara ko ri bari giryo en. Arai e buni ko lo kiti giboy Egypto ni kar ngatu muni rankan. Toriya mun awodo una kaya na ko peke.
And return with this knowledge to southern Europe.
E buto e nya ka awodo una pena ngiro no na jemi to gede na pe jema. It
was after that Southern Europe, that is Roman and Greek civilization, Greco-Roman civilization started. Borrowed and adapted from Egypt.
Arai boring ni ilipuni oni kelepa. Kana boy boring ginokong nyo. Ara ga tadapet gongen.
From African Egypt.
Tadapang ni bora to mai po awulu na yo ka ponemon. Ituro pe ngone.
And as I said before, who were the ancient Egyptians? It could be you.
Ai ko nang limun tori ndamara. Atanga mo kolo mutu an lo ke jito ngulu anana kolo. Inye pe nyata mari nyidi yong.
It is actually you.
Yong lo kriyon pe.
You got pushed down.
Na ida poto to awlu ne poto ki chak.
Pushed down from Egypt, and some of us got left in the Sudan, and you ran up to Uganda.
Ago, ane pote ke riamate amar ko, go tunu tunga ne ke, ko iya wodo ne ke. Ane pote kerengya ngon logwe, ni je kerengya na ke ki joguna zoran, ni ki joguna zoran. Ngon ata yamada na Uganda. Yama pote kerengya ngona na ko bana wodo.
Some ran all the way up to South Africa.
Ni je to yama jekta ka South Africa ma.
Now the whites in South Africa, they are arguing that when we arrived Cape of what they call Cape of Good Hope, when it was good hope for them, they say they came together at the same time with the Africans. Where were they coming from? They were being chased from Egypt, from the north.
Aso, ikwang na pe karta, potong kagwang na buwan niya tamare ay mga tonga. Pentoloto ama South Africa. Ko na ko ba na ngino kwa na iya kuju kwa pa ma. Iya nini e bekoy Cape of Good atamar. Ariam burinya yokan yang arah ya kabat. Na itanin. Ane pota mai bi kwedo ngone punto ge unai borin. Ko tere pota ko lu kwedo riam tunge chan. Mule puni ape renga regale alo de. Alo kuju kerenga ra kwa ma. Ade pota riam tu bonda mai bi kwedo ngone ge unai awodo ngone. Ara kerenga kera kera.
So we may look hopeless and wretched.
Na iti pe kwa na gi yakare. Kuni ki jeme tai dang kuni nyarang borin dang kuni je. Ijai tai nai no oi. Night
But we have not always been hopeless and wretched.
Na nyara kai ngon ngiton lu je men. Na jemi de kwet. Turo pe ana lo pe.
And it is until we resurrect our roots, we look into our roots, in order to have a renaissance, a renaissance as they call it, a rejuvenation of our own civilization. As you read, some of you in the history books, they talk about the Dark Ages. This is when Roman and Greek civilizations were destroyed by some people who were called the barbarians, the Vandals, the Goths. These people, they came and destroyed Southern Europe. That is, European civilization that had left from Egypt was destroyed, and they called that Dark Ages. Then they went to the Middle Ages, and then they went to the Renaissance. Until the Europeans had a Renaissance, that is, they looked into their past, they were unable to take off into what is now modern civilization.
Also, ikwa na kijem tere woni night iya kay ngone pe na gogom. Ite mo gra wana to bongutu e toka kolo. Ite mo ya to yeru to na bo kana ole yeru nya tamare. Dole be yeru loko ka yar bo ka yeru no kolo. Ato yeru to ato pana de na ngi piteri na mar. Ay mo kolo iya kare kolo ngone e putna to ni kichaka. Ani ke to parngi to ngiro to ningulu e piteri ona ko ken. Ikwa ana kolo kedi iya kolo ana kwa kedi bo nyarta apolo unet kori awodo ana ko ken. Azo ay kolo pote kedi ngulu ngulu. Pot ngi tunga nyarta e ori epite ona nyata ngi tunga lo nyata barbarians. Pot kiti ata bori noron kechu nyanga kai tole ma di bori dang. I bori ne ya kechu nyara ngi tunga ta rai nyun ta rai akai racho. Ane pote kedi ni tama e wa rai bori ni aron. Arai ai jiong lang ang bang ngiti. Azo ane ni ane pote kedi e geone tana bola mai mo ngani e be gino ngone. Ane pote ni to anyu tamaro ye bori ne ke kona. Poto dogu ne tai kedi. Naiti woni pe itemo na atoke odo ai kolo. Ya wodo na kolo ya kare woni ye pe do pe ya ka pe anjo ke yai demona ti atanyo demona bonto keon to bong ato ti polon tanga ko lu e kwan kirino.
For a long time, Africa has gone through the darkest of ages. If by dark they mean bad, Africa, if they mean by dark something bad, I don't think it is, but this is the English language has put it like that. Africa has gone through very bad periods of slavery.
Aso ngi kareng lu ala glelu nyar kere ebua akopang ngoning kirino kapon kere to riam na ngai chan lu ala ani ke riam ngai chan lu ala kori ibori nyata ga be dak kata mare arai bori ni arno e kwa yani abi rono yuta mare ibori ni arno e chai ta ngi nai kere riam ngon ngai chan ya pone wani to gelnar ya pone wani igiti ai kwa ngi mabuduno lu ala na bo anen riam to ngai chan na bo ro ko ga riam to wani chan.
Africa has gone through the period of slavery, has gone through the period of colonialism, is going now through the period of neo-colonialism.
Also, in Africa, upon one, eloto igre, aloto man karulu kore, ni karu eloto ilugu, elotoi, agelanar, nakole gilnar, tengon, ituang kaukwang, akaragitiya, tar araw ni lebi. Aloto mga kedulu na ikere upon abo epoti gi pugata ngakpang atolo made na kanike gi pugata e ko romarno nabo pe nabo e ya nabo ichi bor nabo ni be ani chai pugata gere e ye bor ni abri ya gitiya nyet ato modi amod nikin ngodi ngodi nan gudio bas gitiya be harnate agi jojo bor nya ta jojo nyet pe tiya de ngol.
Like Europe, we are at our dark ages.
Ikwa kana ikwa ye na kwa banka kwa ngolang karipe iya kai pe woni na kirunu ikwa na ba tarike.
And all sorts of people are posing as African leaders. They have come and gone.
Aso ngitunga odin kabela ngitunga ngule poda mabe arakai woni arakai wanka nge puga kala toma na kwa pang na ngirino na ikere epoto iturodi kori chuite boni na mara apoga epoto ipugata aloto.
All sorts of thieves, robbers, looters, criminals have come to pose in the name of African leadership.
Azo, ngonyo inkabila ngonyo idang. Inkabila Azo, inkabila ngonyo. Inkabila anka kabang boro anka demarnak. no ya poto ikwang keri inkari ko kata malama ikwin kiriki kira to dunya kapolon kira unyo ya poto e kade na iti e lo ne tang pe na bode loto.
People who do not understand where people should be going.
Azo ngito ulinya tame dadamar ai mo ti mo nang to lotom.
And where people have been coming from.
Arajo ai
Going to.
ipati yeni yong yeni buntori yong na ji pedori ati ni.
It becomes a power struggle.
Rauni amaria kaya apolo abon.
Not a historical struggle.
Mere kira ngakrona de muna tanyo na guri to poto mo ingle tok to pa.
It only becomes a power struggle under those circumstances people find themselves, but not a historical struggle which we shall leave to our sons and great-grandsons, posterity.
Arauni amaria na egi cholong guri amaria na agi puka. Kana chebe ko ya to ay moy te mugin ay ka jang te mugin na iti nyara agi puga na bi ko ay moy poteng le to no pang agro to pa mari tiya to kolong ka ko ka na ko na e puga de kolong ko na boy to kolong ko na nyara ne ni ke ara chebe ne bi ka tiya na moy ui je kilin ta nya ga ko.
These people are many. In your own case, in Uganda, you know people like Idi Amin.
Azo ala lang na ngi to ngalu lu ko la po ke to na ara kay ber e kwa kana ngalo to ma Uganda yene wona to ito ane nyarta e kuni Idi Amin.
I was watching the film of Idi Amin the other day.
Abala muni ngo ya tangol gide sinema ka Idi Amin ngo na ko lang na woni kelo.
I say, hey, Africa ni mbaya sana.
Ni ada mare kara ro ren ka ngiro no.
There was another somebody who called himself Bokassa in Central African Republic.
Bal, ya kole chegre nya ta Bokassa alo sa Thomas Central African Republic. Ko kiding Africa.
This is somebody who imagined that he was the incarnation of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Azo, ebu eglelo nya ta eglo kan elimu de ke gero. Butama aranye de na boye kapolo na no ikuan kan Napoleon Bonaparte olo kolo ije na ko banga kwa.
And he had to go to France to walk every inch that Napoleon Bonaparte walked, he walked it. At the expense of the people of Central Africa.
Azo ke ka yo to ma France ma. E to top ngi bore le buna Napoleon gitia. Kere e bukere to lot. Na ini ko lo di e cha kere. Na I gede ngi to ngalu. E yai. Lu ko de ya South Africa ma.
He crowned himself
Kere buguti pola
as emperor.
Buguti pola ke kwanta ma aranye emperor
of Central African Republic.
Mole to mona to polo ngia alu buna to ma na ko bangri no ne Central Africa.
What the hell is Central African Republic to have an emperor?
Koi nyocho na icho ne Central Africa kere ayaka uno rete emperor.
The crown of his son, who was 2 years old at that time, and became the crown prince, cost the people of Central Africa $2 million.
Ado agdi polo na loko ken ay gile alogo e bugi pugala alugo iki ko guni aran karnyare ngule purgi polo zara arauna ite ya ka polo na polo to ngalo ta ba sa ta ta chang de ngambil nga dolai ambil ngari.
Eurocentric historiography, history written from Europe about Africa, and our own clowns who have been posing as leaders have preached so much to us that the masses of the African people almost have come to believe that they are nothing.
Azo, ikwa ke topa yo yakaku. Tulia na manga panglo la unwa ya poto ko ringi chi ule roko. Ke ya bongi chi. Ule poto ki pukata. Kere ke poto ke ana. Yana ta mara kara ka doa ngitonga. E turi ngala ki puka. Ito diut no, ito din to no ta mara. Ara ka ngon to angkiri no karang borecha. Naik nya rai kere.
Blackness have become associated with badness.
Arau ne krion, bera yu borecha. Bernyar no.
But there's nothing bad about blackness.
Me boy bernyar no. Alo to ma krion no yu. Nye boy no no. Mara kon kwana.
Otherwise, if we were created by a God, if there is one, then and if God is good, he should not have created a black bad thing.
Azo, na itatami ipito ko le gugun yaro bo agu yon arabo ke ya agu. Anai ko ana kere no kere alu buna rawi kilion. Kera ko la agu bo na ni ajo kan kere. Ipake alu buru bo ni kilion ya tamare aku yoro boda aje pake. Iya pi ya ge ayena to aje.
On the contrary, he created, or it was created, a black thing that actually initiated human civilization in the Nile Valley was created. So we must start to have, in the first place, confidence in ourselves.
Azo, abongo ni jarabo garono bori ni aron. Nabo garono. Itu bori ni kilio ne be arono be again. Ni ko lege unya wodo. Nyege unya wodo no wait tolo mer na ko banka gwa. Nya da mare woni ngiri no pe. Ni ye a kurian la mare. Ori ni ya da wa mare. Na peri agite bori ni ya kari ya wodo no. Ko tere yo ko lege unya wodo. Igwa na pe ge unere woni pe. Ite muna di polo tu bori to ki diama no wi. Tara to ngondang to lo. Lu aru anu le ti polo yo ngalu.
Confidence not based on imaginations but based on facts.
Nabo ayakau atiting kore agung gini bore nyeya tamare tatam jang bore jang lu ya lu ku amulu meme anako arai bore kre ni titini gini ya lope tama peri ya gitie bore ngin yena tam kon kre ma peri ya gitie bore ngin.
And the facts are there for anybody who is interested in searching them to find.
Mona kre ya lo tongana ngini ya bala a peri ya riam bore temo ya turiam la ma bore e peri ya riam.
I've been saying all these things in order to put your presence here and the struggle of the SPLM and the struggle of Africa on a historical perspective.
Aso, alimundi nya agro la ni no ga rugu, alimundi ko tere, e to yenu neta ayaka ku ne ge. Kana bo epite mo lo yakara ko ri la ka to ko ma SPLM lo yakara ne ge. Epite lo le ge neta, nyeto mo na la to yendo. Nya alimundi to nya agro na da.
Because the most important thing are not the individuals that are engaged in the struggle or the leaders that are engaged in the struggle, but it is the ultimate permanent interests of the masses of the people.
Ado iboreni akere ni temona yeto no. Mere ata mare twani ni karikon ni pedo ari kitunga nyete mona gidi popolo ako. Mere arai iwoni koringe tunga mulala. Ngulu iyalo chan. Yete mogina kekiaut kori ejie ngole temone de mundere ngani. Podere polo nya.